Okay. Hi, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. This is A Shade's Tale. This is a second edition Ironclaw game, and I am Red. I will be your game host, and I'm going to quickly go over the events of last session, and then we're going to introduce our characters, and then we're going to kick butt. Or do whatever it is we were doing last time. I gotta read to find out. So,
Can I ask a mechanical
please
question real quick?
do.
I don't remember. For some reason, I have like 0 memory or 1% memory of last session. Last session, would we have completed a chapter? We went the whole thing of getting off the boat with boat trip. We went to that area where we dealt with the necromancers in the town. Then we not only dealt with the necromancers again in the town, we brought them back to Triskellion, where we legally dealt with them as well, and now we're leaving Triskellion on what seems like a new adventure.
Yeah, it does seem like a good point for a chapter break.
XP. You gave us 3 XP, so I assume the chapter did pass.
Did he?
Wait,
Yes.
no, we didn't gain 3 last time.
I don't remember. Yes, I don't remember that.
When we played in the 6th.
You guys got 3 XP? That would imply, I don't remember saying it was a chapter break, but I think you're right.
I distinctly remember it being a no, even.
I'm not that down with you guys, and I was wrong.
I don't even remember asking last time.
I remember specifically I needed the 1 experience point.
Oh.
It just seems like it's been a long time since a chapter, and we have literally done not only 1 or 2 or 3 adventures. We did a whole book of adventures because we rode the boat. We got off the boat, talked to a town, went to another town, dealt with all of their necromancy, then went to the major city and legally berated them about their necromancy. And now we've left the city onto a new adventure. That's why it seems like it's a chapter.
Yeah. No, it would make sense. My thing is, I feel like the right spot to put a chapter marker would be when you guys were leaving Bloomshire. And I don't remember if I did or not. And I could even believe that I didn't because at the time there was still the question of Marcade's trial. So I might have put it off. But that would have been a good time to do it. So I'm willing to say that we can call that a chapter marker if you guys would like. I know several of you are waiting for 1 XP to do stuff. So if we want, we can start the session that way. And that would also mean refreshing your chapter gifts.
I mean, I'm good with it. But I mean, also, I think that Marky's trial would have been the bookend to the chapter, not the start of a new chapter. Because that would be a very short chapter, and then we would have gotten 2 chapters.
Yeah, I don't think you guys... I don't think that's a 2-chapter thing, but you're right, it's been a long time. And I think that the Bloomshire episode was definitely large enough to warrant its own thing.
And for bookkeeping's sake, that only puts me to 9, so I wasn't one of those 9 people that was looking for 1 more. I just thought that was the logical chapter spot.
Nope, it's good. It's keeping me honest, and I think that in retrospective, it's something that I would do. It's just I have no specific memory of doing it, so yeah. Okay.
I suppose in that case, I will go ahead and spend 10 experience and get tracking.
Tracking, interesting.
It seems to be a thing that we need a lot of.
That's a fair point, yeah. There's a lot of what happened here.
Well, you are a creature of Earth.
Yeah, indeed.
And I would like to spend 10 experience points.
No. Well, you can't.
Oh. I'm sad.
I'm sorry, Raph. Maybe next time, though.
Alright.
Okay, so... I'm just kidding. What do you want to spend your XP on?
I'm going to buy a Relentless.
What does Relentless do? Oh, is that the one where you can, like...
Is when you're hit and it makes reeling, you can tap this and become like...
yeah, you can ignore reeling. Nice.
But you have to... I did look this up because I gave somebody bad advice. It does say you have to tap it when you're hit.
So you can't just do it...
Later, we changed it that they could bounce you around a lot.
Got it.
But the game balancing part of it, it's also a wilding gift, so screw all of you.
Haha. I have teched into all of the juicy combat tricks.
I mean, the trade-off is, again, you can only refresh 1 So you gotta make a good choice.
Yeah.
Do
Right.
I want invulnerable hide? Do I want to rapid aim again? Do I want to remove reeling?
Yeah, now Anushka has a lot. She has so many combat mobility options, basically, in terms of, like, yes, rapid guard, rapid aim, relentless.
Invulnerable.
There's another one that you were busting out, quick draw, right?
Yeah, but the problem is a lot of these take a while to recharge
Yeah.
because invulnerable hide, tandem replay, fencing replay. I have 2 whips now. I have tandem replay and I have 2 whips. So this is going to be fun.
Fascinating. Okay. All right,
Okay,
cool.
Simon
So,
Belmont.
yay, Castlevania. Okay. Last time, the party was in Triskellion. After Marcade's trial, Adris was confronted by one of his family's functionaries, but successfully deflects all attempts to arrange a meeting with his father, goes to a bathhouse in Old Town where he's surrounded by would-be muggers, but convinces them instead to come drink with him. Party decides that Securio should go to the cathedral. He's a nervous wreck. He's paranoid that someone's going to come get him, and agrees that the cathedral is the last place that anyone would look for him. Anushka and the doctor decide to party at the famous Three Spears bathhouse, basically across the plaza from the cathedral, where they wine and chat up a bunch of the noblemen and women in Triskellion. They ask about all kinds of things about the state of the current politics, and also about Securio. They learn that he is basically well-loved and beloved by most of the people who spent time with him, with the exception of his wife. Find out that his wife is a very unpleasant woman, and that she's been looking for her lost husband, and that since he's disappeared, she has become very religious and has been spending time at the cathedral almost every night. So that's an ill omen. While this is happening, Connor has headed to the docks in town and is starting to, raise a revolution. So he goes looking for irregulars that are set to oppose the Rinaldi Jakoba throne. And Connor uses his real name. Maybe it was foolish, but we'll find out. Anywho, you guys begin to chase Securio all around the town. You run into his wife and eventually arrange a meeting between the two where you mediate their differences. Turns out that his wife is a philanthropist and wants to use large sums of his money for her orphanages that she is supporting financially. And you guys convince Securio that maybe the biggest thing to do would be to set aside their differences, to reconcile with his wife, and to use his great wealth to help people. And that would atone for his many sins, which he does, because you guys are great mediators. And also good at entrapping. Let's see. So you guys gather to leave Triskellion the next day. A group of vagabonds head off the party because they have heard that Connor is in town, and they try to ambush you all. Connor's bounty has been raised to a gold ingot, which is just ludicrous. And they're willing to risk life and limb to take him down. However, it turns out that this is the same group of vagabonds that Adris spent the night drinking with, and he convinces them to instead take a bribe from Connor's estate, rather than throw their lives away. So you guys manage to get on your ferry without further complication. You head west towards the Bisclavre lands on your way to find the Phalon, and hopefully make your way into the Goblin territories. And as you do, you cross multiple Doloro refugees from the war, all heading west. They're looking for a rumored farm that is taking in Doloro refugees in the Bisclavre lands. And you guys managed to locate this farm, which I gave a name since last time. I think I call it Shade. Where is it? Shadebrook. Shadebrook's a nice generic farm name. So the Shadebrook farm, when you make it there, it looks like the farm is under attack. The barn is burning, and there are 3 Bisclavray soldiers who seem to be driving off the Doloro refugees. You guys confront the soldiers, and you drive them off instead. And they turn tail, basically saying that they'll be back, and in greater numbers too. And after that, you guys help put out the fire that was set in the barn, and I think that's basically where we end things.
Nope.
No? There was more.
Yeah, I mean, you forgot the wrap-up that I did. Or was in the middle of doing.
In the middle. So you wanted to send word to your contact, the Baron Meldgard, I believe was his name, to see if they would take
I went
in.
back over the last episode when I said I couldn't remember but 1% of it, and I could not find you saying his name, so...
Yeah. I mean, he has a name.
Yeah, well, I know he does, but I didn't go back 17 to 30 episodes to figure out what it was.
Yeah.
I just listened to his Baron of Mount Grimart. Milgard, you said.
I believe so. Let me just add this down here. Sends a message to Mount Grimart.
Because yeah, at the end of the episode, the discussion that we had was it would take like a day or 2 for my messenger to get there, but in the end, he would be willing to take in the refugees because they're Doloro and he's Doloro.
Okay. The Baron will take these refugees. 2 days round trip. Cool. Okay, cool. Alright, well, then, with that, let's introduce our characters. We'll start with Connor. And by Connor, I mean Arkloyd playing Sir Connor.
That is true. I am Mark Lloyd, and I play Connor Oliveira de Ecrivis, the Brazen Raccoon Knight. My pronouns are he, him, as are Connor's, and Connor's motto is one hand washes the other. I have the goals. Once I scroll down my sheet here. One moment. Recover the Rinaldi sword and help get the Boar family to safety. It seems that we're well on the way to doing that already.
Indeed, indeed. Okay, cool. And next up, we've got Griffin.
Hey, I'm Griffin. I'm playing the anonymous Armadillo Almoner. He has an evangelical personality, and his motto is do no harm and second get paid.
Nice. All right. After that, we've got Rafferty.
Hello world, I'm Norman Rafferty, he, him. Today I'm playing Anushka, the Microbat Messenger, where my motto is know no fear and serve with joy.
And lastly, but not leastly, we've got Theta.
Yep, Address Gar, Guerrilla Dilettante, Ballad, Rake, Procure, Merchant, leader of the Chromic Gang, personally proud, motto by strength and guile, same goals.
All right, so you guys find yourselves on the Shadebrook farm. As I mentioned before, the barn was on fire. You and many of the Doloro refugees have gone out of your way to create a bucket brigade and managed to quell the worst of the flames. It looks like the building can mostly be saved with the damage localized to one of the walls and, some of the storage that was inside the barn. The farm itself is cute. It looks like the kind of thing that would have been run and operated by a single family, although right now there is basically like a tent shantytown set up along the outskirts of the family property, or I guess around the main houses. And you'd guess that perhaps between 20 and 30 Doloro were camping there right now. Some of them have fled completely as the attack started. I did not mention her, but I probably should. We have a boar woman with her boar children as well. Heck did my list go? There we go. I think her name was Berthome, so we've been calling her Bertha. Okay. So yes, Bertha, I think stayed back with Adris and the rest. As the fire is put out, you receive great applause from the various Doloro who helped you. One of them approaches. It looks like he's got a hurt arm. Maybe he took a glancing arrow blow from the attack. He says, "Oh, bless you all. Those horrible soldiers. As if Jonathan has not been put through enough. Speaking of which, where is the master of the house? I have not seen him. I hope that he's all right." And he turns to look towards the main house, which seems to not have incurred any damage.
I wonder, perhaps they're still inside. We should go check and see if they're all right. Let's go say hello.
All right. When you approach the house, there is an old rabbit who is leaning on the porch, and he's looking out in the direction that the Bisclerve wolves fled to. And he kind of like slowly turns his gaze on you, and he says, "Well then, I suppose I'm indebted to you. Thank you for helping with those ruffians." But there's something just very grim and resigned about his demeanor. He knows that he should thank you, but he just doesn't seem like his heart is in it.
Right. That was very odd. Did they say where they hailed from exactly? I can't imagine they took the journey all the way from Harrogate for several days just to march down to the middle of the woods.
He shrugs, he says, "Them, no. They're the Baron Ashton's men. He owns this land, you see, and, well, he's none too fond of the Doloro, I suppose. It was only a matter of time before I suppose that he would take action and finally put us out of our misery."
What kind of person is this Baron?
He shrugs again. "Nobility, it's not my place to understand their designs. I'm but a humble farmer. Times are tough." It's the times are tough, NPC.
We need your effervescent personality over your stat. He needs a hug.
He needs a hug. Doc, you're talking to him. Do you want to give me mind and inquiry?
Yeah, let's see what we can fully get out of him.
See, I don't know if the guy's voice is
8.
supposed to impress upon you like depression or anything, but it's putting me to sleep is what it's doing.
It's
I'm yawning every time you talk.
It is early in the morning.
Anyway.
I get it.
No, I'm sorry, his dismal nature overwhelms even my effervescence. No, I'm sad.
Just like, man, farmers have it tough. But I see 2 successes from the doc.
That's right.
Doctor, you've seen many people experiencing grief and tragedy in their lives, and you can identify that there is something weighing heavily on this person beyond the recent attack and damage to his property. Your best guess would be a loved one in peril, or perhaps just passed.
Hmm. So I guess maybe I'll ask. This isn't the first time he's done this, is it?
Oh, well, we've received a warning before. The sad truth of the matter is that I just can't work my fields. When the first Doloro showed up, I was about ready to pack up my belongings and leave, let my lands return to nature, but, well, they were looking for safe harbor. I could have used the hands, so I let them stay. Since then, 2 or 3 would show up every week, and as you can see, quite a lot of them have come here now and agreed to work my fields. But I suppose, as I said, it was bound to end in tragedy for these poor folk.
Well, you are a good man with a generous heart, and I thank you for what you've done for them.
He shrugs. It may not matter much more, much longer.
Well, we are continuing up towards the north. It would be a shame if all of these people were displaced a second time. Perhaps I should talk with my friend and see maybe they can parlay with the Baron, have him withdraw his forces from this attempt.
Suit yourself. I don't have much hope in your cause, but I suppose I still owe you my gratitude. If you want for any food, please take from the storehouse, and you're welcome to lodge here. Unfortunately, I have no spare rooms.
How many people do we have in our entourage now?
12.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't immediately look over and see people hauling it away.
Like,
exactly.
Like, refugees. It's like, no, we're refugees.
Yeah, gotta watch yourself on that.
Yeah, no, it's well. I'm also assuming that that Adris and the rest of the crew is not with you guys for this conversation. If he is, maybe that would change his mind a little bit. But
no, we're still laid back.
Probably return to Adris after this conversation. I was what my plan was going to be. After I thank him for the offer, I'm going to go to Adris and I'll go and explain basically what was just said. There appears to be a baron over this land who has it out for these people. I know you sent your messenger out to the mountains, but maybe while we're here, you could go ahead and talk to them. I suppose Connor could as well, but I don't remember if he was welcome around these lands or not.
The consideration
but I know that you're friends with everyone.
The consideration there would be that Triskellion is hiring basically mercenaries, right?
Yes.
Right, which means that they might have a relationship to one another that would make it uncomfortable for Connor, shall we say. At the same time, I would rather not put my foot into Pisclave affairs if unnecessary. Granted that the refugees might find home and status within their own lands relatively soon.
Well, I mean, at the very least, you could go and see what his reasoning is for this, and perhaps ask him to hold back until we find another solution.
Another solution's on its way. That's what I'm saying. I don't
and
need
if they get killed in the meantime, it would be tragic.
It would be tragic, but I don't mean to insult a baron of a foreign land without need.
Well, we don't need to assault him. We just need to question him.
Oh, sorry, you misheard me. I said insult him.
Oh. Well, we don't need to insult him, to simply ask what he's doing.
No,
and
that
ask
would
for
be
a
the
day
insult.
Or two.
You understand, a noble court does not operate like normal people. To merely approach him to question his motives would be an insult.
Then I will go there and insult him.
Well, you have fun with that. That's not what I do. Again, we don't need to do such things. I feel the situation is being taken care of. These people simply need to move away from here until we get our answer, and then...
Well, it's either that or they come back again. So I am going to do what I can.
Again, do what you will, Doctor. You clearly don't understand the situation.
This is interesting. Where does Connor and Anushka fall on this schism?
This isn't. I'm going to defer to Connor on this one. I'm kind of like.
It is the affair of nobles. Right.
Yeah, this
Again,
is
to
kinda your
clarify, I'm
guys'
not
thing.
leaning on the noble side. I'm leaning on the refugees are going to be relocated. So in that aspect, none of this matters. You're just going to insult a powerful person for no reason.
If we have a solution that is already to move them elsewhere but close, then I see no reason to bother this nobleman by even implying that he's doing anything wrong. Let him sit in his own little bubble and sue.
Okay, it sounds like the doctor is outvoted, but the doctor still has agency. If you'd like to make a solo voyage, you could try to find out where this baron hails. But yeah, what do you think? Seems like you're on your own though, Doc.
Well, I think if I were to go alone, they might remember the weird man who ran up into their face and point me out and arrest me. So going solo would actually probably be a terrible idea. So the doctor will go ahead and go with the group right
I
now.
actually
We will stay here.
I kind of thought you were going
So
to go
then,
solo.
I was thinking of it, but then I'm thinking, well, I could get captured very easily. I remember this being a plot once.
Yeah, I just don't think you're going to solve jingoism on your own. So
Right. I guess more the point, if we're going to be doing this, then we are going to be camping out and defending the refugees for several days. So, Sir Connor, you are a tactician. Perhaps you should handle some defenses for this area and rally the people together to their own defense. I don't think we have, like, spears laying around, but, tooth and claw.
well, if we get a response within 2 days, it'd be more about, are we responsible for escorting these people? Well, obviously you guys can't escort them because you can't show up at Macromonte.
Right.
Well, we have 2 days to keep them defended.
Or, we could just preemptively move them out of here.
This seems a safe place. It has supplies, it has food, and they have a chance to rest.
It's not a safe place. The soldiers, as you've told me, because it's the only way I know, is that you've told
It
me.
is safe in other ways than being harassed by the local nobility.
Right, but that's the more pressing threat, I feel like.
The wilderness is also a threat.
Yeah, but if we're moving,
And so
in
is a long
large
journey
number.
into the mountains without preparation. I remember last time.
Yeah, that there's a place we can stop along the way. The monastery. Where is that? Sorry, we lost our front line marker, so I don't know where the front line of the war is anymore.
Right. I'd say that they're currently it's being waged across the Lutara Grove area, so around here.
But is the Palaginesi monastery included in that front line still?
Right, that's a good question. I guess so.
I think
I'd have to
last
imagine.
time we looked at it, see if my marker works. The Lutara Grove area was kind of like in that, so I don't know. Has it pushed up this far?
I think they're in a deadlock because
Because you remember Harmon was hired to assault the Lutara Grove because it was like blocking them from progressing.
Exactly. And then that led to this. They attempted to push this truce. They're using goblins now and like guerrilla tactics. And there was the truce that they wanted where they were like, hey, don't attack the grove and we won't use goblins. And I believe the Avoirdupois just said,
Nope.
nope. Yeah, they noped that one.
Right, so assumedly the Lutara Grove still could be a front, which would mean the monastery is still somewhat in the clear,
Yeah, I think that makes some sense. I'm sure the monastery is also dealing with their own refugees at this point. But I don't think they have that much in terms of like land. They're kind of stuck between a sheer cliff and a river, so like two rivers.
Right. It still represents a position that's Doloro controlled.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
a fallback point, because clearly we're sitting in front of a bunch of refugees in hostile territory, we could at least pull them back to the monastery, where if we had to prep, and we also know that there's a town around here somewhere.
Yeah.
That town that we've passed through before on our way into the frozen north. That
Yep.
we could also get them prepped for a march up to Mount Gramante. So that would be my proposition, is that instead of, fortressing ourselves up here at a homestead that has been assaulted by the local baron already, and assumedly reinforcements are coming, is that we pull out as many people as possible, march them back to the monastery, set up there, and then possibly march towards the other town around here.
It would avoid the issue of dealing with the Baron's men again, for sure.
And would give them safe territory, as well as possibility of girding up for a march up the mountains. Supplies, basically.
And this is their home turf. They can handle it.
Right.
So, Griffin, you missed this, but basically the current plan is, or at least Adris's plan, is to take the refugees, trek them down to the Palaginese monastery, wait there to hear back from Mount Gramart, and then, or wait, what was it? There's another town around here. I gotta keep track of all
the
my
town
towns.
that you would know. It wasn't Septicus State. That's a place. That's
Yeah.
It's a horrible place. But there's a town that we made up at some point that we stayed at along our trek here before, and I don't know the name of it. It's somewhere in this area. Because remember when you guys were when we were all marching up to Vasjes and that region, we stopped by a town over here. It's just not on the map anymore.
Yeah.
So we can use those two as stopping points to supply, gird up the refugees, whatever, on the path to Mount Gramarte.
I feel like it was the stand, but who knows?
Well,
at this
because
point.
Septicus'
It's
stand
been a while.
itself,
It's been several months.
Septicus' stand itself is like a horrible haunted wood that has a grove in it somewhere. But we
were clearly tricked by an illusion.
Well, you know how the way that we have these tiny towns that are along the way that aren't large enough to be on the map themselves, but we've created.
Yeah. There's one of them there. I'm paging through my notes now.
Because, we have all those tiny ones that are over here in Avotopau that, without their dots on the map, we have no idea where they are anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of the things I would do differently. If we started a new campaign, I would probably try to take much better notes about locations on the map.
Well, I would think if we were creating places on the map, we would just use pins maybe next time. So that way when we erase our drawings, we don't lose valuable locations.
Not a terrible idea. Okay. All right. Well, so to push things forward, is everyone in agreement that this sounds like a good idea to relocate the refugees?
It's an idea.
It's an idea that you will not oppose?
That sounds
true.
Like I serve with joy.
You serve with joy.
What does Sir Connor think?
I think it's a better use of our time than trying to convince a noble he's wrong.
Now, that is the smartest thing you've said all day.
All right. All we need to do is rally the refugees into retreat.
Indeed, you do. The refugees are grateful for your help with with defending them, but they still don't know you. So it's going to have to be a question of what is it that you say to them to convince them. We could also use a roll. This would be a good use for leadership or for presence.
Or could you spread rumors throughout the camp that, hey, this Adrisgar is a fellow of well standing?
I mean, that would take some time, I think.
Does the doctor still have insider with Bruges?
Let me see. Not with Bruges itself, no.
No.
Not right now.
I remember you're from there. The
Yeah,
mean
I just
streets
haven't
of
been back
Bruges.
there in like a year or two, so I've sold it off.
Has it been a year?
Since the beginning of the campaign.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, since 4 or 5 episodes of the campaign.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean,
I
have
think
it
we
been
stopped back in Bruges for a while, so...
Time
Yeah.
compression.
Actually, no,
It's
we've been
probably been
there-
like half a year.
We've actually been there a second time since the campaign start, remember? We passed through.
I don't remember.
You did like a run-in because you knew the area. We stopped there, most of us stayed on the boat, but you did a run-in because you had to get something or get information or something.
Yeah, like I said, it's been so long I don't even remember.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. I see a roll from Ark, Will, and Leadership. Ark, I'm giving you a penalty die because you are dressed like an avoirdupois soldier, and they were driven out of their homes by avoirdupois soldiers. So let's see what this looks like.
Oh,
Shazam.
boy.
4. Okay. So that's one success. So your natural charisma definitely will help convince them. You get a few dissenting shouts from the crowd that you have asked to gather to make this announcement. And they have some questions. Questions like, oh boy.
Where will we sleep? I
where
haven't
will we
eaten in
sleep?
2 days. That's not a
Thank
question.
you. That's a comment, and we appreciate that you save those for later. No. They're actually decently fed from the farm, but they will ask about the journey. The trek to Grimart is perilous. Many of them have not been there before. Yeah, how do they expect them outfitted as such to survive the cold weather? As winter falls across the mountains?
That's a good question.
And what of the farmer? Are we going to abandon him here?
He's
What if
fine.
the
He
Baron's men
lives here.
come
It's
back?
His territory. What are you talking about? He just needed a few extra farmhands. He's fine otherwise. Assumedly, the help that you've done and the time that you've been here has helped him out greatly. And from those profits he's earned from your assistance, he can probably hire farmhands. There's people that live around here that need help too, monetarily.
Well,
I thought the labor market was depressed because people were hiring the dead.
That was Triskellion territory, Rinaldi territory, south of here.
there you go. It has done terrible things for minimum wage.
I hope that hasn't caught on.
It's actually created a wide gap of new available jobs. You know, once we destroyed the entire workforce.
Exactly. Really, it just inspires people to seek out new forms of employment and create new industries. That's how it works.
There's a job rush to the south.
Are we talking about trickle-down economics now or something?
Or something.
Now I'm sad.
I'm sorry. The rough way to start the day.
But looking into the farmer and seeing what he wants to do would probably be a good idea.
Oh boy, can't we get that depressive conversation again?
Most of them seem willing to join you, most of the refugees. Some of them definitely feel some sort of guilt, whether it's warranted or not. Or some, like, they wish to repay the farmer for his kindness and feels like they would be abandoning him.
Could
although
I
Idris, you do
try
raise some
to
good
convince
points.
them Could I try and convince them that this is the right thing to do and that they've done their due diligence here in repaying the farmer?
Okay. It sounds like negotiation, I believe. Although presence could also work.
No, negotiation sounds good to me.
Okay.
What's the attribute we'll look here? Mind?
We'll do mind because it's a logical argument.
Let's see. Diplomacy?
Yeah, this is a lengthy discussion.
Let's see. No one's probably drinking. I'm not trying to convince a criminal element. I'm not paying them, so haggling ain't gonna come into play. I guess that's everything. I don't think nobility is gonna... Would nobility sway them at all? A noble argument?
I don't think this is an argument that has any place.
It's my responsibility as a noble to see over your well-being. That's why this is a discussion.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I think that's everything I got. Wow.
Well,
I
you did get one success.
Play out well. What's my favorite use of negotiation? Courtroom. Nope. Okay.
No. Well, luckily they didn't need that much persuasion. I was actually only looking for one success, so you did nail it. The holdouts decide that you speak. Your words are wise. It's not their place to disagree. They say, very well. We will head to this town that you speak of. One sort of large and slightly smelly boar says that he wishes to pay his respects to the farmer before they pack up and abandon him. But yes, everyone seems like, even the ones that aren't thrilled with the plan, are on board for the plan. Okay.
I'm glad we're helping people instead of murdering the undead.
Or, murdering mostly soldiers.
Right?
Sorry, I was just thinking in
okay.
my head, is there anything I can do for the farmer? No, I never have any money. I'm always giving people items of worth.
Yeah, no, that's true. You do like to spread your wealth. That's trickle-down economics for you.
Well, I mean, hey, I'm taking all of these refugees to a place they can be safe. I recognize you don't have any labor here, and any money you would make from the crops or whatever you grow around here is probably seasonal, and thus you're not going to see any thing that they've helped you with for, I don't know, quarter of the year. Here's a little something to help you along your way. Until then, I don't have that. I mean, unless I give him something. And that's what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, what do I give him?
I just realized, I think the town in question is Vasquez? I think that's why I don't have it in my notes.
I thought there was just a middle point, so I don't remember us stopping at Vasquez, but maybe.
Because the other thing I think is that it had a named NPC from the book, or like an inn from the book.
Oh, right. I think it may be Vasquez, because we did go to Arrow Mountain, the favorite mountain, and then had to go somewhere from there.
Right. Okay. Well, maybe that was it then. I just definitely know it wasn't Septic as a stand, because that place is horrible.
Yeah, it's just that's just a scary woods.
What's the resale on a rapier?
Ooh, what is the sale on a rapier?
It's like 30, isn't it? Which means the resale is like 6.
No, it's only 7.5.
7.5. Then yeah, it's like 1. Then,
I mean,
you only
gosh,
get 20%.
Also 7.5.
It is, 7.5 dinar.
Yeah, which means even if I gave him my two most expensive items, wouldn't play out well for him on a resale market. Yeah,
you just give him money.
Yeah, I just don't have that much money.
How much do you want to give him?
I mean, enough to make it worthwhile. Like, enough. What is the amount of day labor he would need to make up for the season?
A season?
A season.
A season's would be 90 dinar.
I mean, that's
You
what I
just
would like
busted
to
that
give
out
him, but
really
I just don't
fast.
have it. Well, I mean, it's the
Um,
amount of workers, even the cheapest workers he could hire to get him through the season.
Mhm.
Okay. Well,
I guess we could give him the
that's
necromancer stuff.
if that's what it's going to take, I'm just boggling. This is going to be like the most hilarious one. Well, that's what it's going to take. Go through my first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here you go, my lord.
That is nuts. You just agreed to pay this random guy that you had like half of a conversation with, like a season's
You know what the
worth
real
of
fear?
income?
You know what the real fear now that comes of this is that he's going to take that money, go to a bar, drink himself to death, and then
Yeah.
To death.
Yeah.
And then someone will just steal the rest of it. I mean,
For the record, on my honor, I didn't agree to just pay 90 dinar to some random guy. I'm lending Gar 90 dinar.
okay. Well,
as
I would say
everyone
also
knows,
you
Gar always repays his debts or something like that.
or
I'm
something.
sure you and yours are good for it.
I mean, so I will also point out, I think that, and normally I wouldn't do this. I would just say I feel like that's a little bit too generous. Technically, you guys got what you came for. You've convinced these refugees to leave with you. Some of them are a little bit bummed out because this farmer is
It's
very
not
depressing.
always about getting what you came for. It's also about making other people feel good about what they're doing as well. And if the
Okay.
majority of these refugees are upset that they might be leaving this man who did them a good service at the risk of his not only his own well-being but his own livelihood, then clearly to make not only all parties feel well but also to assist in the refugees' departure from here, we give a man
Yeah,
a
'cause
reward for doing a good service to his fellow
This-
man.
Yeah, this doesn't just benefit him; it benefits the community. And also, like, if I've been taught anything but the escapades, life's too short.
Indeed it is. Well, as you're counting out the money, the refugees are watching with a mixture of amazement and maybe like shame. Some of them avert their eyes at seeing that much money in one place at one time.
Well, come on. Conrur is radiant as the sun in his aluminum armor.
He is resplendent, isn't he?
Right. We've got the doctor walking around holding a staff made of silver and gold.
Hey, that's only because I'm really cool.
And Gar, how are you dressed?
I just wear an expensive outfit.
Yeah, and Gar has to be, is dressed for courtly behavior. Yeah, we're already pretty splendid. No, it's me who's like barely wearing anything.
Who apparently has the deep pockets, though.
Who apparently has a depot. Well, I didn't spend all my money on sticks made of gold and silver and aluminum now, did I?
Mm.
Well, I also like to think every time that Harmon appeared in the party and gave you all money and then vanished forever.
That's also where a lot of this came from. So yeah, no, this will help out these people, and it's for the good. So
right now, you put the thought in my head that every time the doctor shows up to a poverty-stricken neighborhood to, help people, now he's carrying around a bar of solid gold and silver.
Oh,
Don't worry, things will get better. Cling, cling.
You can't sell it though. Everyone knows this is like from the church. You go to a pawn shop with it's like, what'd you do? Kill a holy man in the streets? Like, well,
Look, I'm not
no,
trying
he
to
gave
rub
it
it
to me willingly.
I'm
I
not
swear.
trying to rub it in your faces. I have to hold this, I swear.
Well, no, that's the funny part. You can actually resell these things. It's just
Tacky.
It's a
real
very
tacky.
bad look.
Yeah.
It's kind of that. I'm so glad there's no corruption in the church.
Exactly.
Okay, well, as you head to the farmhouse to give this really nice payday to Jonathan, you don't find him on his porch. You have to go up to the into the house to the second floor to the bedroom. You can see Jonathan is waiting over. He's there's kind of like a large communal family bedroom. In it, you can see 6 rabbits of various ages, likely his children. All of them seem to be caught in the throes of a serious illness. Jonathan is sitting on a small rickety chair by the bedside of one older rabbit, who you would assume would be his wife. It seems that his entire family, all 7 of them, have been caught by some sort of disease. And when you offer him the money, he shakes his head slowly at you. He says, "This is far too generous. I doubt that it would help. It would help. All the money in the world would not bring my family back to me. No, the man you see before you is but a ghost. It is not long now before this illness will likely take me as well. So, thank you for your generosity, but there's no need."
Is it hereditary? Sorry, is that thing I know about? Is that a? Am I talking out of time? Did your father
Anachronistically.
suffer this disease?
I think
there
they
you
did have
go.
a
He's probably
concept
still
of.
well and alive.
I think they did a concept of heredity because, like, anemia was known as a disease of nobility because the inbred nobility would be more likely to be anemic.
I'm sure there were some things that were just too obvious to ignore, right? Like we have like hereditary baldness. It's quite obvious that some things you just
I'm
get
gonna roll it
because
back
your
anyway. I
parents
have no
it.
academics. This is not a question that come from me.
Okay.
Well, that and we can be gruesome and point out that when poor people suffer anemia, they just die.
True.
Well, you do
Yeah.
have your local academic and doctor here,
Yeah,
so
I'm
if
assuming
you wanted
you're
to
here.
list me. Yeah, the
Sure.
doctor will go, well, if it would help at all, I am a doctor. Maybe I could see if you are ill and if there's anything that I can do for you. Please, allow me to inspect you.
He'll say that he had a doctor look them over, and the prognosis is grim, but he won't stop you from doing an examination of him or of his family.
So I'm going to go ahead and roll my medicine. And I should get an additional D12 for just asking questions.
Now lean over and
Wait,
say,
I think that's already added.
"You're not only in the hands of the best doctor in Bruges, you're in the hands of a saint of the church."
Actually, I
Exactly.
guess I should ask, what should I roll here?
You should. That's only polite. It would be mind and academics. And wait,
You can add in medicine.
you have medicine, right? So
and
medicine
I
would
suppose
definitely
inquiry.
apply.
I am asking him, like,
Yeah.
what did the other doctor say? So
Sure. And I'm also going to let you include supernatural.
oh, he is cursed.
Oh no.
Before you say anything, I just had a thought. Maybe we should split the party.
Okay.
A bunch of you stay here and help the this family here with this clearly supernatural problem, and I will escort the refugees to their allotted place because you guys can't go there anyway because you're wanted.
Right, and if you want to take custody of them, now would be the time, I think.
Right. So we can handle both projects.
So
I thought you'd want Connor with you, though, Gar,
You're
for these
wanted
sort of
there.
arms. All right.
At Macromarte, you're wanted. So
yeah. So there's 2 legs to this voyage. There's to Vasquez, which is going to be, I assume this is Bisclave territory. You guys don't have any outstanding warrants there. Vasquez itself is a very secluded town. It would not be, it wouldn't be unreasonable to assume that the people there would not know of any warrants on you, because when you were there last, they seemed very out of touch. trekking into the mountains to Mount Grimart, that's when you would definitely run into problems because the Baron there has a hard-on for you, and chances are good it has not gone away.
Do you have low profile, Connor?
I think you picked it up, didn't you?
If I was given it as a gold gift, I haven't traded it in. Let me check.
I mean, last time we went to Macromart, you stood in as a servant.
I thought we got low profile last session.
Did you? You might
I
have.
know I got it last session. I don't know if everybody, because I think there was the option.
Gotta write these things down. Remember, you gotta keep track of your own character.
That's all I keep track of. Well, that and the 11 other characters that follow me around.
The other choice was diplomacy, and I took that.
You took diplomacy. Gotcha.
Oh, okay. So you had the option, and instead you decided to talk too much. All right.
Like I said, last time we went there, you acted as a servant. So, I mean, I guess could take you again if you want to go with.
He does have deceit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just putting out there that he is wanted by that guy, and his son seems pretty vengeful. So, I'm just throwing that out there. If you want to come, yeah, we can take the two nobles go and escort the refugees, and Anushka and the doctor handle this family's clearly supernatural curse. Sound good for everybody?
Yep. So I guess speaking of the supernatural curse, I rolled terribly to get anything questioned out of him or the supernatural part, but it turns out I still know exactly what I'm doing when it comes to medicine.
Yes, you do. Okay, so here's the info. His family, each one of them is on death's door. They're both, mechanically speaking, injured and sick. Kind of like, when you recover from dying and you find yourselves in that kind of recovery process. Although, unlike the rest of you, they have not had good medical care. Or really any care. They've just been left.
They're probably down on the quota a fair bit.
Yeah. Some of them have gotten worse, but all of them are in a highly unstable position where any day could spell death for any of them.
They didn't all actually pass. When I was hearing it earlier, I heard the implication that they had all already died, and he was the last one left.
No, sorry.
There we go. Okay, so
they're
how many
still alive.
we got here?
You've got seven total.
Yeah,
patients,
there we go. Okay.
Right. You also, he seems reticent to speak about it, but you find that part of the reason he is not confident that you'll be able to save them is because he seems to know, I mean, he would outright tell you this, but he seems to know that there was a source to this, that it was probably magical in nature, like a curse. And he says, well, he doubts that any doctor could actually handle it. Like, he spoke to a holy man, he spoke to a man of medicine, and neither one of them were able to help. He also, you get a sense that there's a lot of personal guilt involved in this tale as well. He feels personally responsible. And I'll say, because of your academics, you do, there's no reason why he has not yet contracted this. If it has spread to the rest of his family, it's weird that it has not affected him either, which means that the, infection vector, is an unknown, right? Like, if it was just airborne or contact, he definitely would have caught it by now as well.
Right, there's no miasma in here. What's wrong? There's something definitely strange afoot. He's not sure of it. I'm not sure of it yet. But it does bear investigation. But I think the best thing to do would be to try to immediately give him some confidence back and see if maybe I could actually go ahead and use my magic to heal one of the sick ones on the bed and give him some hope.
Okay, who are you going to choose?
Well, I got 7 choices. Are these all 7 children, or what are we looking at?
One of them is his wife, but yes, the other 6 are children between the ages of little, 5, and probably late teens, 17, 18.
I think the young ones might have a chance for being of healthy body. But I guess the wife would be as old as he looks. So I'm going to go ahead and go for her first and see if we can go ahead and get her up on her feet.
The children have the most faith in
Right.
because you have the most chance of success.
That is true. So, they will be rolling their will. They
Okay.
do need to beat a 5.
Oh boy.
And if they're pious,
Ooh, they are farmers. I'm trying to think. The Bisclavre do have or don't have
Well,
any religious tendency.
Piety is a big gift. You'd have to you'd have to be Amish.
Okay, all right. I mean, I'll say there's a 1 in 4 chance these guys could be. Hey, look at that.